Good morning, my friends. Happy Friday. TGIF, if it matters. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And it's me. Who else? As usual, my friends. Drink it. Drink it if you got it. As cold as it is here this morning, I need it. Look at me, all bundled up, knit hat, t-shirt, hoodie, holy cow, and hot coffee. Oh, man. It's good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Wow, you're pouring in here this morning. A lot of chatting going on. That's great. Friday has no significance for me because I'll be here tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. And hopefully keep doing the same for the next 20, 30 years. Wouldn't that be something? Holy cow. Wouldn't that be something? Hard to imagine. Hard to imagine. Think back. I think back sometimes how long 20 years really is and how much has happened to me in my life over the last 20 years. And my God, even though it seems like yesterday, so much I can chronicle in my mind. So many things have happened over a period of 20 years. And sometimes I marvel at the fact that 20 years can seem like an instant, and then again, it can seem like an eternity. And I look ahead and say, if I have another 20 or 30 years left, which is possible, not the usual in this world, but it's possible. What am I going to have accomplished by then? I don't know. It's an adventure. Life is definitely an adventure, isn't it? Every day. Every day. Oh, man, let's see what we got here. 69 people here so far. People coming in. Good to see you. Thank you, everybody. All the private community members that showed up last night. We had a great time. We had, I think, 9 of us online at the same time, and really everybody's audio and video was great. We had a great conversation, and a little short on the female department as usual. We had Tina Schweikerath, a brand new member, who joined right yesterday around 7 o'clock. Welcome, Tina. And we enjoyed having you there last night. Break up the all-male choir is what it seemed. And I had a good time. It was a nice time. I look forward to those things on Thursday night. I really do. It's getting colder every day here. And tonight is supposed to be the coldest and widespread 30s, upper 30s. It's going to be right around 40 degrees here. And then we start a warm-up finally. I've been in Florida for a long time. I've been in Florida since 1970. How long is that? 50 55 years. And this is the coldest continuous stretch of cold, gray, overcast weather that I have seen. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And when I have to hear from people in Miami saying, wow, it's freezing, it's 50 degrees. But that's weather, and weather changes. Weather changes. And the chat's rolling by. Let me enlarge myself, get rid of the chat, and say hello to the early birds real quick. Then we'll get on with the show notes, and then we'll get on with the questions. And I see some people are asking some questions, and I will get to them. Put QQQ in the chat before your questions, and don't hesitate. Don't hesitate, even if they're just little one-word answer questions. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here. So here we go again. First in, right after the private community live stream, Juan Manuel, who joined us last night. And Smoothie 420, see you in the AM, he said. And retired Rick, this was at 8 o'clock last night. That was before. Well, that was during our private stream, but I had posted this earlier. So, and the Furrow Grandma, 9 o'clock, 9:30, Tuca chimed in. And Tina, see you all in the morning, she says. Anna, PLO7. Rick, there it is, bedtime, 53 degrees outside. I bet you it was chillier this morning. Lady June was here. How you doing? Gary, Arza, Mendy. Holy cow, it's by Friday again. Woohoo, butter. Be ready for a great morning coffee with Mitch. Yes, let's hope it is. Good Friday morning at 3 a.m. Bob Black, Insomniac. Lynn Gerber, got some sleep. 5:03 a.m., very cold, Deerfield Beach. Yeah, that's or South Florida, near Miami. They're not supposed to be very cold down there. Margie Graves, wow. 12 degrees in southeast Indiana. That makes me feel warm. It does. It makes me feel warm. Lizzie's here, says hi. Wow, Lizzie. Got 11 inches of snow in Louisiana. There's still about 1 to 2 on the ground. I guess the kids probably love it. Furrow Grandma was back this morning. Wayne Herman back this morning. Mike Seeley Sr. from Melbourne is with us. And Rick checked back in after what I hope was a good night's sleep. Patty Molden, how you doing? Papa Carnivore checks in. Good to see you. Mike Seeley from Tampa checked in. Mike Seeley Jr., how you doing? Granny Boo 2, glorious day, Carnivore family, 14 degrees. This is like the morning National Weather Report. Richard Williams here. How you doing, Richard? He didn't mention it, but he's up in Copper Hill, Tennessee, where I'm sure it's plenty cold. Michael Pregler, how you doing, Michael? Steve McAvoy from South Carolina. Good to see you this morning. Sandy Blythe is here. How you doing, Sandy? And Marla Kelly's with us. And we're about 20 after 8 here. CB Carmack from Alabama. How you doing? Good to see you, CB. Tammy Pitarch joined us. Good morning. 8:22. We're sneaking up on the bell. Sneaking up on it. Ketra Naylor. Hi, Ketra. All the usual suspects are checking in. And I checked in, just to let you know that I was here and ready to go. Lori. Hiya, Lori. How you doing? You're waiting to take your first sip. I wish I could say that was my first sip of coffee this morning. It was my first sip from this new cup that I made right for the live stream. I rolled out of bed at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Wide awake. Wide awake. Edited a video already this morning and posted it for this afternoon. These are long days, my friend, when you start them at 4 in the morning. But I was in bed about a little after 10 o'clock last night. Slept straight through. I think I got almost 6 hours of sleep, and I just don't need any more than that. Any more than that, I think, ruins my day. But it is something being up in the middle of the night knowing it's freezing cold outside. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, and you got to wait. And it's 4.5 hours until I come on here. That's like half a day. Wow. Marcy. Hey, Marcy. Marcy Boudin is here. And Tammy has a question. Do you realize that people get out of bed because of you? Rhetorical question. You are loved. I never really thought of that, Tammy. I never thought about the fact that I motivate people to get out of bed, but on the East Coast, I think most everybody should be out of bed, especially us older folks, by 8:30. But I see more and more people from California, like Gary Arzamendi, who check in here. It's only 5:30, so maybe I do. Maybe it's true. Maybe I'm like the drill sergeant, coming in, screaming, making noise, banging trash can lids together, yelling, get up, playing Reveille. I'm flattered, though, that you would say that. Thank you. Marcia Boudin. Marcia Boudin. Is that Marcy or Marcia? Marcy Boudin. The E's look like A's. Text is very small on my computer screen. Good morning to you. 8:28 still. B Matt is here. Hi Matt. How you doing? Bryce Hatch is here. Brooke is here. Spiritual Nomad TGIF. Yes, sir. Aaron Booby Goats 829. Good morning. I won't know what to do with myself. The kids went back to school. Holy cow. Holy cow. I can't. All 10 of them? No, you still got a few toddlers running around, but geez, what a relief that would be. I think what you should do with yourself, Aaron, is relax a little bit. Retired Rick, good morning. Good morning. You got your coffee. And Steve Rogers, Captain America's here. How you doing, Steve, from Kansas City, Missouri? Gary No Slow from Raleigh. How you doing? Rick from Miami, shooting for the bell. A little early. Carnivorous Butchers here. How you doing? Shooting for the bell. Oh, so close. So close. And the winner this morning, ding, 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 is Don Schonger. Congratulations. You did it. You are the winner. Wear it proudly for today. B81 Mac chimed in instantly afterwards, and then comes the stream of 8:30 people. Meatitudes, how you doing? Robbie Autry is here. Hi, Robbie. Good morning to you. You missed it this morning, but you're always right in there, right at the bell. Lady June, Dixie Scott, Aunt B, CB Carmack, Retired Rick, Steve McAvoy, Papa Carnivore. Wow, all these people at 8:30. Tammy Petarch. And the last 8:30 was Michael Pregler. Okay, that ends the horse race for this morning. And first one at 8:31, Sandra McDonald from Australia. Evening all from your future. Yeah, hard to believe that we're just starting our day here, and they're going into late night over there. The earliest it can be anywhere in Australia is going to be 8:30 at night. And in so many places, they're 15 hours difference. They're already at 11:30. Wow. Wow. So thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Let's see what we got over what we got going on over in Rumble. Let's see if we are live on Rumble. Yes, I am. And in the Rumble chat, welcome. Most of you that are here in this chat. We have Mike Seeley from United Carnivore from Tampa chimed in, and his father shortly thereafter. Sis 1776. Panama Bob 2. Good morning, everybody. Gary's there. No Slow. Lori's carnivore story is over there, and somebody I can always count on in Rumble every morning, Rod Weeder. Great. Thank you, Rod. Always good to see you. Thanks for being loyal to us on Rumble, all you guys. And show notes. What do I got to talk about this morning? Put your questions in before the chat. Something very important to me and near and dear to my heart. I put my Buy Me a Coffee link in the chat. You all know why I do that. What else we got here? Our meetup's coming in a few days, this Tuesday in Melbourne. Melbourne Square Mall in Melbourne, Florida, 11:30 a.m. on Tuesday, the 28th of January. If you think you can make it, you haven't let us know yet. RSVP to me at oldguycarnivore@gmail.com. If you have any questions, need directions, whatever, shoot me a mail, shoot me a Gmail, and let me know if you're planning on coming, if you'd like to come, if you can't, even if you wish you could come. Let me know. What else I got? I actually put it up on my computer screen, my list of show notes, rather than having to look at my cell phone, which is still in my pocket here. And the next thing, meetup, I had a thought, and I know you guys are all my friends here in the morning. We have very few strangers come in here. It's usually the people that know me, know the struggles on YouTube, know the uphill climb it is in this space on YouTube, know that I need to make a living, and I keep trying to figure out ways to do things that might increase my revenues without costing anybody any money or me having to beg. I don't like to do that. I got the Buy Me a Coffee thing. That's working okay, but I pretty much have to rely on that and Amazon. And I'm transitioning into this, believe it or not, full-time, away from the computer work that is aggravating and puts a lot of pressure on me. So I need this to be a full-time job, basically. It has to supplement my income. And if I'm doing something worthwhile and something that's helpful and something that people value, I think that I don't have to feel ashamed of not only needing, but wanting to make a living. Not get rich, but at least pay my bills, because Social Security doesn't do it. I've been thinking of a number of different things I can do where I won't have to ask for donations or coffees or anything like that. And Amazon, believe it or not, seems to be my best option. Costs people nothing. Everybody buys stuff from Amazon all the time. I can earn money from that, and I have been. But that's been dropping and dropping and dropping since I stopped doing all those cooking videos, talking about all those air fryers and things, and stopped running my little 1-minute Amazon commercial and those things. I've just gotten away from that and kind of focused more on these live streams, which I actually think do a lot of good for a lot of people, especially the generally 140, 50, 60, sometimes even close to 200 people that just come in here every morning because they like being among friends every morning. So I thought it would be kind of fun. And anybody that doesn't want to watch it doesn't have to watch it. But I thought it would be kind of fun once a week to actually have Amazon shopping live stream. A live stream. Mitch's Home Shopping Club. Blatantly commercial for me. But it could accomplish a number of things. I get suggestions from you guys very frequently in my emails saying, I just got this and it's really helped me out. Some gadget, some appliance, some something. I got this, I got that, I got the other thing. I wish I could find a good fill in the blank. And I thought it would be kind of fun to have a live stream and go over and talk about the different items that I recommend, that I use from Amazon. Answer questions, take suggestions from you in the chat. This is what I use, and actually check it out and take a look at it and see maybe if it might not be a better deal. Maybe I can add it to my recommendations and actually turn that Amazon page that I have that says links to stuff I use more like a links to stuff that we use. And if any people just aren't interested in that, that's fine. I won't insult me if you don't come in. If I only have 50 people watching that thing, it could really help me out, help you out, and cost none of you a penny. And that to me is what's called a win-win situation. And I always endeavor to have those things. So I haven't decided when yet. I haven't completely decided on the format. I thought I'd float the idea today. If you think it's a horrible idea, let me know. If you think it's not a bad idea, let me know. If you think it's a great idea, please let me know. So at any rate, that's something I've been thinking about. I wanted to talk to you about it. Okay, I've been promising Robbie Autry. I've been promising him. I've been promising him to show a couple of his little videos here. And I think I'm going to do that today. Let me cue one of them up here. And Robbie has sent me a number of videos showing off the weather and his dogs. So here you go. I don't think there's any sound to these things, but this is his dog's first snow. And let me clear the screen off here so you can see it. Wow, wow, wow. First snow. Can you imagine being a dog, never having seen snow before, and end up getting thrown outside into that? That's cute. And he also sent me a video about, let's see, what's this one? This is actually just a little panorama around his house showing what the snow looks like. Now, I'm sure many of you have seen enough snow for yourself this year, but this one, I'll show you this. Robbie was nice enough to send many of these to me, and I kept promising him I would show them. So here they are. Never let it be said I don't keep my promises. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Look at that. And the good news is that Florida doesn't look like that. So thanks for that, Robbie. Thanks for sending me that. Gary Arzamendi sent me a funny video. And the video is how we salt our roads in Florida. And it was on TikTok. So I'm not worried about a copyright claim on this. There's no sound on it. But there was a TikTok video showing just exactly how Florida mobilizes its road salting crew to deal with these once in a century snowstorms, like the one that just hit northern Florida and pretty well shut it down for days. And This is how Florida, look carefully, this is how Florida deals. This is Florida's fleet of salt equipment that's been mobilized to make sure that our roads are not too slippery. I thought this was hilarious. Isn't that great? Is that great or what? Thanks, Gary. You probably knew I'd get a kick out of that, didn't you? And I did. I thought that was very, very, very funny. Okay, my friends. Okay. 134 people. Yes, yes. And where was I? 8:31. Let me go back and start looking for some questions. We're flying through it this morning. And I'll say hi to people I haven't seen yet. I'm nice and toasty warm in here. It's not too warm. Sometimes I wear this knit cap and it gets a little warm in here because of the lights and everything. But not this morning. There's a chill in the air this morning. Kathy, good morning, Florida. Good morning, Frozen Ones. Edward Renner, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Peter saying hi to people. Who else is new? Anybody new? Any questions? Jackie W. is here, realtor in Indiana. Good to see you. Good to see you. Danny in Boston. Got to be cold up there. Got to be cold up there. I got stuck in Boston. Sometime in the 1970s. I don't know. It was like a monument. It was the biggest storm they ever had up there. It was crazy. The whole city shut down. And I had business in Boston. And this was in the 1970s. Flew up to Boston, got to the hotel, got in the hotel. The storm started. I was stuck there for 4 days. The airports were closed. I don't know if you remember when that storm was. All I can remember was sometime in the 70s. And I got very familiar with my hotel room and the hotel. And never did manage to have the business meeting. When we could finally get out of there, I got back on the plane and came home, back to Florida. I think it might have been the last time I was ever in Boston, to tell you the truth. I was stationed outside of Boston at Fort Evans in Worcester when I was in the Army, and I really enjoyed that city. It's a beautiful city. That was before the Big Dig and all that other stuff. Oh, Boston trivia for you, Danny. Tammy says, celebrate life. Any questions? Any questions? Belmont Leone. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning to you. Scott Evans says good morning. And Sandy Blythe says, yes, Mitch, freezing in northern Florida. I've had enough, haven't we all? And Robbie tells me it's because of global warming. Yes, yes. Well, you know, they decided that wouldn't work. The fact that people still say global warming amazes me, because years ago they decided that was too easily disproven, so they actually renamed it climate change. And they can't be wrong, because nobody can say the climate's not changing. It changes every frigging day. So whether that way they're covered, whether it gets cold, whether it gets warm, it's, you know, they can still blame it on us and want to have us pay carbon taxes and worry about all that stuff, when in reality, weather just is. And it's subject to virtually everything affecting this planet. And yes, humans probably have some small effect on it, and whether cows do or not. But there's nothing we can do about it. Driving Priuses is not going to affect the 100-year Milankovitch cycle that the sun and the planets go through every 100 years. I guarantee you, those forces know nothing about whether you're driving a Prius or an SUV. But yet, it's politics, It's politics. And they won't let go. They will not let go. And unfortunately, it affects us, carnivores, because we have become, and our diet has become one of the environmentalists' targets as the cause of climate change, and that is cows. I got news for them. Large, belching, farting, ruminant animals have been roaming this planet since before an ice age and after an ice age. And believe me, getting rid of them ain't going to change a thing, except take away the only nourishing food, really, for the human race. So environmentalists, I think sometimes you'll be happy when there are no humans left on this planet. Then it'll be pristine and the happy animals will roam. And I think that's what you really want. I think you just hate the human race. So go away. Go away. Shut the hell up already. Who else we got here? CB says Tina's an interesting lady. She dives right in and rubs elbows even with the best of the rough men. She is. Tina's a tough one. Tough one. She's a businesswoman. She's no nonsense, Tina. Yeah, we like Tina. We got to get Tina to start puffing on a cigar and we'll have something there. Oh, man. Hey, here's somebody I haven't seen before. LCKM, whatever that means. Hi from the UK. Hello to you. Hello to you. Deborah Wisegal's with us. No questions yet. No questions yet. Lat says hi from Wales. Lat's over in Wales in the UK. Cool, cool, cool. Man, wake up, people. There must be some burning question on your mind here. LCKM says he's from Southwest England. This has become the morning weather report, it looks like. All right. Scott Elliott says, good morning. How you doing? What time am I up to? 8:39. 10 minutes into the stream. About 20 minutes behind here. This is probably better than usual. And I'm just reading the chat. And there's a question. Question from Jackie. Jackie W. Question. You always seem to get up at 4 a.m. every morning, so what does your daily routine look like? You inspire me to get up earlier. I don't just wake up, chores, make my coffee, then head to YouTube. Well, I never said, I can't remember the last time I set an alarm clock. I just wake up when I wake up. It's certainly not the sun getting me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's for sure. I just need less and less sleep as I get older. 5 hours is plenty. If I've had 5 hours of solid sleep, I never get tired. I never get sleepy during the day. I never lay down, never take a nap. I just go like the Energizer Bunny. My daily routine when I first get up is, my first question is, well, I get up. I always make my bed. It's interesting. I don't know why. It kind of indicates to me that it's a new day, and I just can't I can't look at an unmade bed all day long. It's just always been a habit of mine. Maybe I got that habit in the military. I don't know where I got that habit. I never made my bed growing up. My mother always made the bed. But during my marriages, I don't remember. I don't think I made the bed. I think my wife made the bed. But ever since I've been a bachelor, which has been 20 years now, I just don't like to see it on my bed. So the first thing I do, I jump out of bed. I give a command to my Google thing. I say, good morning. And it goes through a routine of things that it does. It turns on all the lights in my house. It plays me a news summary from Fox News. And if I can get past 30 seconds of that, I don't cancel it. And I know that the world is still here. I do my normal morning bathroom stuff. I get dressed, I make my bed, and generally by quarter after or 20 after, whenever I get up, I'm heading for the coffee cup. I take decaf, I throw some iodine in it, make myself a cup of coffee. Sometimes I'll sit down and turn on the morning news on TV to see what's going on. Our morning news here on most stations starts at 4 a.m. So I'm seeing people that got up earlier than me to get to work, look at the weather mostly. This morning, I wanted to get a video out today. I wanted to get it out yesterday. I didn't get a chance. So I came right here into my office and I sat down and I spent a couple hours editing, filming first, and then editing a video to put out. And then after this live stream today, I'm going to film another video of me pontificating whilst I make my bacon and eggs, because I haven't done one of them in a while. I enjoy them, and so many of you are new and haven't seen many of them. So I'm going to do another cook and talk in my bacon and eggs today, and I'll probably release that tomorrow midday. And I'm going to start getting back into the habit of trying to not only do the live streams, but trying to release more standalone videos, because I need that. I need to do that, or my channel will never grow. I could do this morning live stream, and if I don't get support by these buy me a coffee things, I make nothing for all of this work. Zero. I enjoy it, but that's not enough. I can't keep doing this unless it's somewhat profitable. And when I say profitable, it's pitiful, but it helps, and it allows me to keep doing something that I love to do. I love to do this. So I have to start focusing on my channel growth again. But that's how my morning starts, and then it gets to be 7:30, and then I come in and start setting up and making sure everything's working for the live stream. At 8:30, drink it if you got it. And it's just gratifying that you all love being here as much as I do, because you keep coming back. And it grows little by little. But I have to keep putting my buy me a coffee link in there. And I just did it again. I wish YouTube was not doing everything in its power, it seems, to keep us under a boot, trying to help people and save people's lives. That's so sad. So sad. At any rate, Jackie, that's a long answer to that question. Sandy commented on the dog. That's great. I'm glad I got to show you that. All right, here's a question. Question from Ketra. Mitch, do you have any idea why our stomachs growl? My stomach talks to me every morning, and I'm not even hungry, nor do I need to body. This has all started since becoming carnivore. Well, everybody's stomach growls. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of liquids moving around through different kinds of tubes and pipes. It may be. I don't know how late you ate your last meal. I think if you go to bed with food in your stomach, you're going to wake up with a growling stomach. I don't know. I've never given it much thought. It would just be conjecture. But My stomach sometimes growls a little bit, but it growls more at night right before I go. When I get into bed in the morning, I'm pretty well empty stomach. I finish eating my last meal of the day generally before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's a lot of time for digestion to happen before I actually go to bed. Maybe digesting meat uses more stomach acid and just creates more turmoil in your stomach. Fiber will tend to just run right through you, and because stomach acid is not going to do too much to it. But the meat, it is broken down. There is a lot more activity. There's a lot more chemical reactions going on as the proteins are torn down into amino acids. So I don't think it indicates any kind of a problem. And if you want to experiment a little, try ending a day a little earlier and see if that fixes it. Otherwise, growl away. If there's no pain or any ill effects to it, it's pretty well normal. And if you're not in a big crowd when it goes on and people keep looking at you, it won't be embarrassing. That is a totally uninformed answer because I've never looked into why stomachs growl. It just would be my opinion. But thank you for the question. It's food for thought. That's for sure. LCKM says, I've been recommended to you via Kerry's Homestead House channel. I'm a huge carb addict and keep lapsing. You're in the right place, my friend. The entire focus of my channel here is trying different techniques to put that carb addiction to bed. And I know that I have. So I have lots of videos. You can go on YouTube, go to my channel, just search for the keywords in the YouTube search bar. OldGuyCarnivore, carb addiction. You'll find video after video where I talk about how to start carnivore, what to do for the first 30 days, things like that. I think that we might be able to help you. Welcome. Good to see you here. Dancing with Life. Good morning. A wise one. Good to see you. Thank you for that. Very nice of you to say. Dancing with Life question. Just jumped on and heard the last bit about a meetup. Please repeat so I can come. Well, the meetup is in Melbourne, Florida. If you're anywhere near Central Florida, Melbourne, Florida, we'd love to have you. Yes, it's this coming Tuesday at the Estampa Gaucha Brazilian Steakhouse, where they just keep bringing meat, at the Melbourne Square Mall at 11:30 a.m. We're going to meet out front, and they open at 11:30. And if you can make it, that'd be great. It's in Melbourne, Florida, though. I mean, we have one of our people is actually driving in from South Carolina, but that's ambitious. That's very ambitious. But yeah, it'd be great to see. I don't know where you live, but that's it. Thanks for asking. And I'm going to try to get more current on these questions now. Quarter after. Yeah, I still got time. Peter's got a question. Mitch, what is location and date of the meetup and where I just did that, Peter. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. Wow. Lizzie, I'm 43 and I had my first snow. I feel like I'm in heaven. Wow, I can't imagine what it would be like to never have 43 years on this planet and never saw snow. I was born. I unfortunately can't make that same claim being born in Philadelphia. She says, I cried. I was so happy. Yeah, that goes away quick when you have to shovel it. I'm telling you, when your car gets stuck and buried and you got to get somewhere, yeah, it goes away quick. Hey, Thomas is here this morning. Hi, Thomas. How you doing? Target Prime Rib. Thomas joined us last night as well. And you're welcome. You're welcome, LCKM. Thanking us all for a warm welcome to the community here. Wow, not a very active day, guys. I know it's Friday. Got plenty of people here. A lot of chatting going on, that's for sure. Robert Jeffrey, good morning. How are you? LCKM has a question, Mitch. How long did it take you to really feel free of your sugar carb addiction? I've been doing ketovore for 2 years now, but still fall off the wagon when in social situations. Yeah, I'm afraid that if you're as severe carb addict as I was, ketovores won't do it. Won't do it. There's a simple reason. For a severe carb addict to do ketovore would be like an alcoholic allowing himself maybe half a shot of whiskey a day. Not enough to make him drunk, but it's enough to perpetuate the addiction. And in any addiction, I don't care if it's alcohol, if it's hard drugs like cocaine, heroin, if it's gambling, whatever, the only way that has ever worked or have any chance, because most of the time it doesn't work, but have any chance of curing an addiction is complete and total abstinence. So if you're on ketovore and you're allowing yourself up to 10 grams of carbs a day, you're not abstinent. You're still ingesting carbs. That part of your physiology that causes these addictions. And I've gone through this many times. There are many, many reasons why our subconscious mind throws these cravings at us, because, to summarize, when you burn sugar, primarily, until you've gone maybe 30 days without having any of this sugar, your subconscious still knows that sugar's available. And since you're running on sugar, and even after 2 years of ketovore, your subconscious still thinks it can have sugar, and it knows that you can only store 1 day of sugar in your muscles and liver. So it thinks you're going to die tomorrow if you don't get sugar, and it impels you to eat sugar with cravings that are uncontrollable when you're triggered. It takes about 30 days of complete and total abstinence from carbohydrates before your subconscious actually learns that there is life after sugar. And you have to do that. And it took me, I've been 2.5 years now without a carb. Took me about, I would say, about a month, maybe 2, before the cravings stopped. But I avoided any triggers like the plague. I didn't have a social life, so I didn't have to go out there and watch people. I live alone. It was easier for me. I cleaned all that crap out of my house. It was gone. Might be harder for other people. After about, I would say, a full year on this thing, the thought of eating that stuff started to disgust me, and I stopped even having thoughts of it. And since then, it's not a part of my life anymore. It's almost as if I had never become addicted to carbs. But I still know I'm still a carb addict. I still know that I could probably, just like an alcoholic after 5 years sobriety that has a drink and then boom, back to square one. I'm afraid that would happen to me too. So if we know we're carb addicts, which is puts you ahead of the game, because most people who are carb addicts don't even think carb addiction is a real thing, let alone the most addictive substance the human race has ever encountered. And there's so many reasons for that, and I've gone into that in so many videos. So yes, it took me to initially be able to control them if I stayed out of triggering situations, a month, 6 months, until I started to not think about them anymore, maybe a full year before I really didn't have, didn't even want to eat them. And now it's been 2.5 years, and it's the easiest thing. I don't miss them. I don't want them. I don't need them. But it was a journey, and we have to take that journey, because every time you fall off the wagon, every single time, you are resetting your fixed addiction clock back to 0 again. You're turning in that shit of however long you went without carbs, just like an alcoholic trades in his 5-year chit for congratulations, you've been sober now for 24 hours, and starting all over again. And you have to treasure and value however long you have been able to be without them, because you'll give that up and start over again with one bite of sugar that just reinforces to your subconscious, yes, we can still get that stuff anytime we want. And it's tough. That's the toughest part. The good news is it doesn't take long for the really intense cravings to go away, about 30 days. And you may have to make other sacrifices. You may have to change your social life. Hang around with a different crowd. Stuff your face more. I talk about that a lot. For the first 30 days, don't let yourself get hungry. Just eat meat until till you can't move, if you have to. I have videos about that too. Good question. Good question. Good question. Gary No Slow says, do you think you could expand your Amazon links page to include recommendations submitted from your carnivore community? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. I really want to do those live streams and have your feedback right then and there. Or you can email me or Gmail me something that you think you've discovered, which carnivores might find that they can't live without another day. Kind of like I found out about this coffee warmer that Francine Bourgeois encouraged me to buy and paid for it. It changed my life. I never had a coffee warmer on my Amazon links, but I do now, because I'm telling you, this just makes it better. Here I am, almost an hour into this live stream. This coffee is still as hot as it was when I first made it. And it encourages me to enjoy it more, sip it slower, and it lasts longer. It's great. So yes, absolutely, Gary. Absolutely. And I'm going to be starting that pretty soon. I may end up replacing my Tuesday night live stream with this. We'll see. We'll see. I don't necessarily want to add more live streams. I mean, doing 1 or 2 every day is a lot. It's a lot. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know. But maybe this Tuesday night, that'll be after our meetup. So that'll be interesting. But maybe we'll figure out. But I have to figure out the format and how I want to handle it, and how I want to, if the spirit moves me, actually do some of it here in the studio and some of it actually in my kitchen, which is going to take some technological thinking about how to get the cameras where I want them so that I can go back and forth. If I'm talking about something using the internet and answering questions, I'll be here in the studio where I have all the computers in front of me. But then I want to be able to shoot right over to the kitchen if I want to show off something, like here's what it looks like, here's this thing, here's how you use it, here's what I use it for, and stuff like that. So to do that without a crew and a cameraman following you around and everything is going to be a challenge. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be fun if I can pull it off. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Dancing with Life has another question. Hey, Mitch, please give details on Meetup. Okay, I did that already. Would love to join in this Tuesday. Love to have you. Love to have you in Melbourne, Florida. 11:30 a.m. And if you need details and you think you might be able to come, send me an email. OldGuyCarnivore@gmail.com. I am 20 minutes behind here and still playing catch up. I saw some questions fly by later in the chat, but I'm Robbie Autry. Can you take too much iodine? Well, anything in excess. They always say the dose is the poison. Yeah, you can take too much, but when you start with the I think with the Lugol's 2%, that's pretty diluted to start with, and you meter it out with an eyedropper. You're not measuring teaspoons or tablespoons full of that stuff. You're taking a drop or two. I've heard people taking 15, 20 drops a day with no ill effects. So I would say, if you keep it under 5 drops a day, there's no way you can OD on it. 10 drops a day. I don't know exactly what would become poisonous. I know almonds, for example, if you get a big bag, a 3-pound bag of raw almonds from Sam's Club, and you sit down in front of the TV and eat half of that bag, you'll die from cyanide poisoning. So yes, a handful of almonds won't kill you, but a half of a bag of them raw will kill you. So many things that are actually good for you in large doses can poison you. Yes. So yes, there is a dose. I don't know what it is, but it will be interesting to Google it and see whether they actually know. Ken Berry's got a lot of videos about iodine. I'm sure that he covers that, and that's why I don't spend the time and energy to make videos on iodine, because it's been done and done and done, and they're out there, and there's so many different doctors on YouTube that are pushing iodine that I'm sure that's covered too. But I would say if you take less than 10 drops a day, you can't hurt yourself. The trick is just finding what you need, and that's tough with iodine, because the symptoms are not as, they're subtle. If you have iodine deficiency, most of us do it as a prophylactic measure just to say, well, it couldn't hurt. And we know iodine's necessary almost everywhere in the body. Hard to say. I think it's difficult to zero in on exactly how much iodine you might need to take. I've settled at 2 drops. I don't know if it's enough. I maybe should be taking 5 drops. But 2 drops seems to keep whatever bad might happen. It's not happening, whatever it might be. I'm not too up on the symptoms. I know that the most prevalent symptom of deficiency in iodine is thyroid problems. I've never had them anyway. So I take the 2 drops every morning. Carnivore Butcher says, when I take iodine, 2% Lugol's drops, I get loose stools the next day. Maybe I don't need it. Well, I hadn't heard that one before. And if you're sure that that's consistent, and that's what's causing it, maybe you don't need it. Maybe you do need it, and that's just a side effect from it. Impossible to give you a definitive answer on that. And I'm scrolling down here. Continuing to scroll down. No questions. I am at 9:16. I am 10 minutes behind. I'm catching up. Robbie Autry just said QQQ. Oh, he asked the question first. Why is it that you don't seem to be having any gas doing carnivore, Mitch? Well, because you're not eating much. You have a little bit of gas. I get a little, but you won't have as much, because gas comes from those little fiber-munching bacteria farting their brains out in your colon. And when you're not eating fiber or plants or undigestible material that needs to be fermented. And if you want an illustration of what those little bacteria can do while they're fermenting sugar or fiber, just look at what yeast does to bread. The reason bread rises is because bacteria are farting. They're expelling gas. And that gas forms little air bubbles, and it makes the bread rise. And that's why carnivores don't fart much. There you go. There you go. Maybe more information than you really wanted to know. But anybody who eats a lot of broccoli understands the concept of massive gas and wind. It's the fiber. Believe me, it's the fiber. That's why cows fart. Oh, man. Oh, we talk about the strangest stuff here. Lat says, question, my friend is a recovering alcoholic, 20s, but is totally addicted to carbs and sugar. How would you deal with a close friend doing that? Well, there's nothing you can do. Unfortunately, alcoholism is a much easier addiction to get over than carb addiction. It's more straightforward. More straightforward. Carb addiction is subtle and has physiological and psychological things going on that alcoholism really doesn't. That is, it all draws on ancient survival mechanisms that ensured that our race survived when only sugar was available. We never went through a period like that where we were dependent on alcohol in times of famine, and we're nowhere near as addicted. You have to deal with your friend like all of us deal with our friends when we try to tell them about carnivore, and their addiction is so strong that they instinctually don't want to hear it. I couldn't do that. I could never do that. That's their addiction talking. What? Give up all that pleasure-causing food? It's impossible. I couldn't do that. I don't want to hear it. After all, everybody knows, and then you hear the diatribe of bad advice. Everybody knows that red meat is bad and causes cancer and diabetes, and everybody knows you need fiber every day, and everybody knows that you have to eat from the rainbow, and everybody knows that anything in moderation is fine, and you have to have a balanced diet. Everybody knows that, and you're killing yourself with that. And you can't change their mind. You cannot sell carnivore. You can't sell carnivore. You can only be an example and help when that help is asked for. And most of the time, when they hear what it's involved in giving up all of that stuff that brings them so much pleasure, and in a lot of cases, maybe the only pleasure these people actually have in life anymore comes from eating addictive food. Certainly, the food companies capitalize on that addiction and do everything they can to make it worse, make the food more addictive. And we're victims. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. And the reason your friend became a carb addict, because generally when you cure an addiction, especially alcoholism, you do it by replacing it with another addiction. That's why people quit smoking and gain an enormous amount of weight. They don't gain weight from an absence of cigarette smoke in their lungs. They gain weight because they trade addictions. The pleasure they got from the cigarette, the nicotine addiction, went away, but gets replaced real quick by the pleasure they get from addictive foods. Alcoholics, you ever go to an AA meeting, it's, you need a gas mask in there. Everybody's smoking and drinking coffee. That's what they do at AA meetings, because it is two addictions that have a chance of replacing the one they're trying to get rid of. So most people never cure an addiction. It amazes me on carnivore that I've been able, and maybe that's why I still like to puff on my cigars. I don't know, maybe that helps me. But I've always smoked cigars. It's not new, but maybe in some respect, I don't think I'm addicted to nicotine from them. I can live without them, but maybe the habit of puffing on them, smoking on them, is a satisfying substitute for food. I'm not suggesting that any of you go out and start smoking cigars, but that's just what we do. So you can't help your friend. Your friend can only wake up one day and realize he needs help, and he's the only one that's going to do it. Nobody's coming to save him. And that'll probably take some kind of health disaster, a rude awakening of sorts, where he figures, well, can't coast anymore. I need to do something about this. But it's a common problem. It's a common problem, to be sure. I'm scrolling through the chat. Not too far behind, so hopefully if I do come on questions, you people are still here. Here's a question. Meatup, does signing up for subscribe and save through your link benefit you? Yes, I assume it would. I assume it would. It should. I haven't really looked to see if it does, but I imagine that it does. Just like if you go into Amazon through my link and even don't buy the thing you clicked on my website, once you're in Amazon, they give me credit for everything you buy after that. I often said to myself, I could make a very nice living here if just 10% of the people who watch me shopped on Amazon whenever they needed to by going in through one of my links. An extra 2 clicks. Doesn't cost anything. But people forget. You know, I don't expect people to do that, but it's very nice if they do. It's very nice if they do. Everybody likes to be appreciated, but appreciation doesn't buy food and pay bills, unfortunately. And you see most YouTubers, including all your favorite ones, take sponsors, monetize their channels, and run mid-roll ads and all that stuff. And I just hate that stuff and don't want to subject people to it. I could do it. You probably be all right with you. You probably wouldn't mind having your live stream interrupted every 8 minutes with a 1 or 2 minute ad from YouTube. I could take my $4 that I might make on a live stream like this on YouTube ad revenue from just run a skippable ad beforehand to just let YouTube do like all TV shows and TV stations, and that is take up 30%, 20 to 30% of your time that you want to be watching and entertained, and run ads in front of your face. I could probably, instead of $4, make $40 on a video like this. And if I could make $40 a day from doing these morning live streams, I wouldn't have to ask for coffee or anything like that. But I try to, it's just something I don't want to do because I don't want to be subject to that myself. It forces me to click away from these things. And Ken Berry's doing it. You watch a replay of his live stream every 8 minutes, you're going to get ads. I don't blame him. But I don't do it. So I'm still trying desperately to rely on a few coffees here and there from my friends and the Amazon links. And hopefully, with some changes in censorship, which I hope are coming, hope it doesn't take too long, changes in attitude from the tech industry, with the thumb coming off the scale of YouTube spreading our message around, that it'll open up and we'll go back to the way it was at least when I started doing this carnivore stuff a year and a half ago on YouTube, before YouTube made its deal with the World Health Organization to declare anything that doesn't go along with what they recommend as disinformation. And that includes especially the carnivore diet. They are so anti-meat. They want to rid the world of cows. And that's what we're laboring under right now. I hope it'll change. If it does change, I could maybe make a living doing this. I'm not going to give up now. Work too hard to get to this point. But I watch my income on YouTube and Amazon every month go down by 10 to 20%. It's crazy stupid. And it's not just me. Not just me. Of complaining. I don't want to complain. But it's reality, folks. I have to face it every morning when I sit down here to do this. Ellen's here. Hey, Ellen, how you doing? Good to see you. How are the doggies? How's walking the doggies in the freezing cold up there? Everybody's saying good morning to Ellen. Debbie Wisegal says, I really appreciate no ads. I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. I'm doing the best I can. But I will tell you, my friends, and a lot of you are very generous buying me coffees. But I haven't seen not one of them yet today, not a single one after all this. And it's disheartening for me. I'm sorry. It's just disheartening. No obligation. Nobody has to pay me to do this. But question. P81 Mac. Should we start a Fart Talk Friday segment every week? Well, we seem to do that almost every day between the poop talk and the fart talk. But unfortunately, that's a big part of being carnivore. The bathroom talk always played into it. Everybody, all of us in this space have a poop video or two. And I made it to the bottom of the chat. Steve McAvoy says, can't wait for the meetup. I can wear my sandals again. Well, I hope so. I hope it warms up by next week. It's supposed to start getting warm. We're supposed to be in the 70s or low 70s by Tuesday. So yeah, it's going to be warmer. It's going to be warmer than it is up there in South Carolina. That's for sure. That's for sure. At any rate, my friends, I've made it to the end. Haven't played any happy music. Maybe that's what I need. Let me play some happy music. We're going to call it a day. We are going to call it a day. And someone bought me a coffee. Someone bought me a coffee. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I have no idea who it is. But thank you, someone, whoever you were. And look at this. Look at this. Christy, Super Chat, just on you today. Be encouraged that you are making a difference. Thank you. I know that. I know that. Believe me, I wouldn't be doing this. This is no way to make a living. This is a passion. This is wanting to try to help people fix things. But thank you for recognizing that. Thank you so much, Christy. And I hope you come back every day, because I'm here 7 days a week. And at the rate this is going, it'll be 7 days a week, 365 days a year as well. Trust me. Trust me. I feel like I'm on a mission here. So thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And my friends, that's going to wrap it up for today. I got a video to make. Going to make my, here it comes. Okay, I'm going to make my cook and talk and get to work on that. You all saying goodbye, everybody. CB, Retired Rick, Scotter, Charger Mopard, Jackie W, Realtor, Robbie, Smoothie 420, Target Prime Rib, Booby Goats, Aaron, Sandy Blythe, Pat Ramirez. Thanks for coming, guys. Great to see you today. Great to see you. Great to see you. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:30. 8:30. I may actually have to run to Sam's Club this afternoon. I hate to do that. It gets so crowded during the day. I love the mornings, but I'm busy in the morning now. And the weather was so bad last Wednesday I had to make it, but I need to make sure I can score some eggs. So I'll let you know what the egg situation is if I make that tomorrow morning on Mitch's Morning Egg Report. And with that being said, my friends, it's Friday. If you don't have to work, or even if you do have to work, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.